147-pound champion. Haney and Romero are reportedly deep in talks for a title unification fight, with May 30th being the targeted date. So, Lance, you've been on top of this all week long. How realistic is Devin Haney against Romero?
Very realistic. I mean, Raleigh has come out and said that he's signed whatever has been put in front of him. Raleigh can sometimes be a little bit erratic in what he says, but I believe him. I believe him in this case. And look, I know for a fact that the Haneys are dissecting exactly what PBC can pay them, and what they can earn for this fight. And I think that, let's be honest, as I wrote and spoke about previously on this topic, is that while promoters can be guilty of marinating a fight, so can fighters. And I think the Haneys can kind of look around and say, look, we have the chance to stand as a unified champion before we get to the Ryan Garcia rematch. We feel confident in our abilities to defeat Raleigh Romero, and it makes the fight against Garcia even bigger. So let's make that move and let's maximize our earnings while doing so. I can definitely see it happening. The Haneys, as far as I know, where it stands right now, the Haneys are inspecting what this deal looks like, and if it meets their satisfaction, I believe that they will jump on it and make this fight at Barclays Center.
Devin Haney and my neck tight. Devin Haney and Rolly been going back and forth with each other through the media, and Devin is saying that he don't like that Rolly is negotiating through the media. And Rolly is saying that Devin hasn't signed the contract, and from your boy understanding, I forgot I had my headphone piece in here, my case. If Turkey wasn't involved, PBC don't have the money to pay Devin Haney. Devin Haney probably doing this shit pro bono compared to what he was getting. So if Turkey not involved with bankrolling this fight for May 30th, Devin probably gonna have to take less than the going rate and just got to do it for the belt, And I know what you may be thinking. You was like, well, Turkey out of Sheik. He funded Ryan's last fight for Barrio. I'm telling y'all, man. Y'all brothers, y'all don't have no allies. Brothers don't have no allies. I keep telling people that, dog. Brothers don't have no allies, bro. And if Turkey ain't stepping in and bankrolling this fight for Dev dollars versus Rolly, that should let you know everything you need to know. But he worked with PBC to fund Ryan fight versus Barrios. When Ryan come on the Ring Magazine TV show, they don't grill Ryan about all the hoe ass shit he said and all the bitch ass shit he did. Malik Scott and LaShawn McCoy be sitting there sometimes. Maybe I'm wrong about that. And they don't press him. So that's what I be saying. 1 second, y'all. That's what I be saying. You just gotta watch situations for what they are. Like, just think about the sanction belt body. I have a video. I might switch to this video for Friday and switch this Benavidez video to another day. Let me put this together, right? And when I be talking about David Benavidez, look how the sanction belt body's moving. All of a sudden, a lot of the fighters don't focus to say, now they stripping motherfuckers over petty shit. They know what time it is. But, in this simple fight, Rolly said I signed, Devin ain't signed. That's because the money ain't right. If Turkey ain't involved, the money ain't right. That's just common sense. So, if Dev gonna take less, or he gonna wait around for Ryan. Ryan supposed to take a fight in July, then come back and fight Devin late summer or something like that, early fall. My whole thing is this. You heard, I think it was Chris Minix or Coppinger or Lance Pugmire speak on, if the deal is right, the Hanneys will do it. Sometimes you got to take, 5 steps back to take 15 steps forward. And this is that. They got to take short money to get a belt. So if the goal is to be undisputed, or the goal is to get leverage over Keyshawn, Ryan, sometimes you got to go into the Lions den, for a 10-piece chicken wing dinner to be able to get to the feast. And this is one of those 10-piece chicken wing dinners, and maybe you get a biscuit to be able to get to the turducken and be able to get to the lobster and the crab. You know what I'm saying? Get to the porterhouse steak. You know, they got to take short money. When I heard Turkey wasn't trying to get involved, I should let you know everything you need to know. Real talk. And maybe Turkey don't want to get involved based off the comments Rolly said, because Rolly said they did everything versus Ryan to make him lose. Think about that for a minute. Fucked this hotel room up, did all that to him. So maybe Rolly was like, I ain't fucking with them no more. He could, and he ain't wrong. If you really felt that way, and I don't think he had no reason to lie about it. If you really felt that way, I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. If he really felt that way, you can't be mad about it. So, can't be mad about it. So, but yeah, they ain't got the funds for this fight. I could tell you that again and again. They don't have the funds for this fight. So Devin gonna be taking short money probably. So compared to what he been getting, but you know, the Haney's trying to negotiate. You try to negotiate to get every dollar you get. I remember it was a car salesman. He's a real popular, light-skinned brother that be at the I don't know if y'all seen him on Instagram with the hair. And he said, you know, yeah, you always ask for a discount on the car. The worst thing they could say is no. So that made perfect sense. So, but yeah, I figured they ain't had the funds, you know, the funds that Devin wanted. So, but you know, for the most part, you can take less money and Rolly might land that punch. So, you know, still, you know, people say, well, Rolly can win. You know, Rolly is this and Rolly, he gonna dog me. Rolly looked pretty good versus Ishmael Salas. You know, Devin is expected to win. Yes. But, you know, one punch can change a fight. Ishmael Salas, a hell of a trainer. Hell of a trainer. But Devin is probably going boom, bing, bop, boom, boom, bing, bam. But I think it'll be a smidget more competitive than we think it is, especially early on. It'll be a smidget more competitive. But I don't know if being patient versus Devin is the game plan. To be honest with you. Being patient versus, he should have been that patient versus Tank. But being patient versus Devin and holding his position, you know, that might be a mistake. Being patient versus Ryan because he got Tourette's or he hyper. He can't help but jump his ass in and out. So I get that, bro. I get that, man. I get that. But I think this is time Rolly needs to be aggressive versus Devin, you know. But at this point, Devin is becoming a master of distance. He's mastering distance. He's mastering controlling his opponents, you know, with his lead hand. You know what I'm saying? He mastering just 1, 2 and the hook. Using distance. He controlling distance. You know what I'm saying? And credit to him. Right now, this might be Pinnacle Dev. Might be Pinnacle Dev right now. It's for, you know, the way he controlling distance. You know, so how Rolly gonna cut that distance off? That's the question. Because what he did versus Rolly, versus Ryan, that's a good game plan for Ryan. That would have been a good game plan for Brother Tank. So however you control that distance is the key. So, but with Devin, you got to break control. You got to break distance. I remember Gary Russell, he said how you beat Shakur is you break his control. Control, you know, breaking his control, you know, for the most part is distance. And really, you know, with Shakur is really take it to him, to be honest with you. Take it to him. You know, take it to him. But with Devin, it's a little bit different. Devin controlled distance in a whole different type of way. You know, because he got longer arms. Shakur, the thing about Shakur is Shakur throw punches. You know, like it or not, control it. Shakur mix it up when he have to get position. So niggas ain't really just walking down Shakur's door and kicking the door in. Nah, it's some resistance there. He has control in a whole different way. Like his distance, his patience. The thing about Shakur is this. You know, I say this about Shakur and Devin to make a difference between Devin. This is the difference, real spill. Shakur is like one of those great 85 Bear defenses. If the offense could score 10 points and have a lead, you know, the 2000s, the 99, 2000 Baltimore Ravens, that great Tampa Bay defense with Warren Sapp and Derrick Brooks. When they get a lead on you, it's going to be hard to break control. Devin's a little bit different. You know, Dev is more of a balanced team. You know, he's more of the Seahawks this year. He's more of a solid offense, really good defense, but he's a good special. He's just a balanced guy. He gonna control that. He gonna have that control, have that distance, use that jab. and you gotta cut the distance off with him. Real talk. So 2 different type of. I remember I had a homie. He was like 160. This motherfucker was benching. His name was Steve. He was incline benching. He was 20 years old, 21 years old, if that. And he was 160 incline benching 315, bro. It's just one of the strongest dudes I've ever seen, bro. And he brought his boy to the gym. He was like, man, y'all strong in 2 different ways. He said, I see y'all strength, and it was 2 different ways. He was more of a twitchy strength guy. You know what I'm saying? You got some guys that's twitchy strong, and then you got some guys that just brutally strong, but then you just got different strength. You got lateral strength. You got, some people just strong in a, straight line. You got different type of strengths when you start thinking about it. Calisthenics, conditioning, but they are dominant in their own ways, but it's 2 different ways that make any sense. So Rolly, my thing is this, even with Shakur, Rolly couldn't use that game plan, to be impatient. He got to go get Dev. You know what I'm saying? He got to go get Dev. You know what I'm saying? But the crazy thing about it, and I end off with this, a lot of these fighters are not, they don't warm up the right way. So when they get clipped early, it's hard for them to recover. Like when Dev got clipped by Ryan, he probably didn't fucking recover because he probably came out cold. So a lot of these guys don't warm up. So if Rolly do come out hot, or Rolly do come out trying to be hot and he get caught, he may never recover. He might get knocked out. So it's the risk of the reward of it. But you see what Devin did. Ryan did to Barrios. He hit Barrios with a good shot. Barrios had PSTD, FYG the whole fight. Appreciate the love and support. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Hit the link in the description. Join the Patreon. Peace.
I don't like Mike Tyson.
Well, he's the master of the jab now. He is the master of that jab. He's got great movement. He's shown.
Okay, wait. Let's just do it like this, right?
Okay.
If Devin Haney got bodied by Ryan, who got bodied by me, Ryan bodied him with no effort, being drunk every single day. Literally. Ryan bodied him. And I bodied Ryan with no effort. Please just stop. Just stop. It's so I can't even comprehend this stuff. I really can't.
Now they're gonna say he tested positive.